I'm going to teach you on how to start an animation from scratch. The reason I'm doing this is because I too am doing an animation and I am starting from scratch. And as you can see here, I'm in a program called TV Paint, and I already have a few scenes for the storyboard with some actions and some notes that I have in here. And I'm going to go over on what I did and what I'm going to be doing in order for me to progress into a finished product. So first things first, this applies to any medium, regardless if you're using any other program, another medium like paper or stop motion, whatever. You always need to start with a storyboard to make sure you have the story that you want to lay out is makes sense. And as you can see here, I already have some actions that are played here. Let me just go and play this and show you what I have so far. As you can see, it's not really that polished. The storyboard really doesn't have to be too detailed. It's pretty much just chicken scratches or sketches and whatever. And that's pretty much all I have right now. It's about 15 seconds, but 15 to 20 seconds. However, um, I did not just start just by drawing out what I wanted to do. You always, no matter what, this is a just a huge tip. You need to always start with a script. It always begins with a script. And as you can see here, I already created my script. It's all finished and polished. I, edited and everything. And this is my script that I made for my little project. It's supposed to be some kind of anime intro for my friend group. But I made it into a script, and as even though it's a mediocre animation or whatever, you still need a script to make sure that everything is lined up to where you want it to and it makes sense when you read it. Um, if you don't know how to make a script, there's a lot of videos on YouTube that could kind of teach you on that. I'm not gonna go over that. I'm gonna go over on the fact that whenever you make a script, you have to know how to transfer it to a storyboard. So, for example, I have here the exterior, beach, day, winter. This is for your background. This is so that you can know where your character is going to be laid on. Exterior, it's outside. Beach, you know, once it's outside, there's going to be certain factors that you have to play into the animation. Wind is one of them. Daylight, scenery, sound. A lot of those things are going to be in play because of the exterior. Then we got beach. Beach is pretty much the background, where that person is. Time of day, daytime. It could be night. It could be winter. Self-explanatory. How the lighting and how the environment is going to look in a certain time frame. And I got a little bit more specific. Sorry for about my slurred speech right there. I put winter there because I want to be more specific on how the character is going to be in the environment. Is he cold? Is he hot? Is the environment in a certain way in different seasons? That contemplate too. Uh, Cut in pretty much before you make the background or anything is the transition to how you start the story. So since this is kind of like a anime intro, kind of thing, I made it into a straight in, cut in. It was on transition, just boom. But most of the times, if it's like something sad or very, cinematic, uh, you could go and do like fade ins and stuff. Now the meat of this is going to be the action, what happened, of what happened, and also the dialogue, which I don't have because it's an intro. So this character Jeffrey, who is me, is in the who is standing in the middle of the beach, shivering from the howling, cold gusts of wind. That's one action. And so what I did, in order for you to transition from a storyboard, is to take pretty much all of this and put it into scene number one. Jeffrey falls to the ground and struggles to get up. Take that, and that'll be scene number two. Jeffrey clenches his fist, teeth, and gets up from the snow-filled sand while looking at the roaring ocean. Jeffrey flexes his muscles, roars, the sky, whatever. You get the point. And you take a sentence, you put it in. Each one will be a scene. Each action, mind you, that you type in is the sentence. So every time you have a scene, there's an action, right? So that will be one scene. Then the next scene will be the next sentence will be the next scene. And once you finish this whole paragraph, that will be one entire scene of the environment you're in. Then we go to the next one, which I didn't get into, but it goes to another environment in which you get into that same process. So once you got that whole thing figured out on how to transition your script into a storyboard, let's go to the storyboard. Now, storyboards don't really look like this, but in TV Paint does. It usually boxes that you draw on, and you put the description of what's going on and what whatever. TV Paint makes it more specific, which is great, just so that you could put the action and separate it with the dialogue and notes. For notes, I usually put the sound effects of what's happening out there, and then the dialogue pretty self-explanatory. And whenever I have the action, it's pretty much a sentence that I copied and paste on. So once you have all of that, and you wrote down pretty much what you want to see in the scene, you start drawing. So right here, I have the scene. Forget about the camera movement that I have. That's just extra. We don't really need that. That's just for me to get ahead of the layout and how the camera is going to look like. Otherwise, I'm going to have to write that down and make sure that I don't forget that the camera moves, just left on this scene to the hand, and then he clenches fists and punches down on the ground. Now let's get started. What we're gonna do is we're gonna start drawing this out. And gets up from the snow-filled sand while looking at the roaring ocean. Jeffrey flexes his muscles and ... So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna draw out the background first, and I want to separate that by making another color for that. Don't mind this. I'm just trying to work on organizing things, because that's going to play a lot on my next tutorial. The separation and organization of animation and stuff. My background is going to be all black, so I'm going to switch to black. I'm going to go back to the project, and I'm going to start drawing out. And let's do a straight line. It doesn't really have to be that big. Actually, because I want it to be more dramatic, I want it to be down here. And I want the ocean to be pretty much on top of you like this. These are waves, by the way. I make the crappiest waves, by the way. No one has to be the perfect artist. But holy crap, are these horrible waves. They're just everywhere. Mind you, water is one of the most hardest things to animate, and here I am trying to attempt to doing that. It's just ridiculous. Anyways, this is the scene. Um, let's say I'm gonna just do some lines to separate this and make sure that, I'm not drawing over this anymore, or making sure that I know that that's the ocean and this is the sand down here. And then I'm gonna go back to the clips. I'm gonna go into the title 1 and I'm gonna switch the color to blue, and that'll be my character's color. Anything that moves is gonna be in blue. So this is gonna be the first scene. Within the first scene, because I have TV Paint and I could do it, you don't have to. You could make another scene where you do like him getting up and stuff like that. But for the sake of time and effort, I'm gonna go back to clip. I'm gonna make another frame. Where my character gets up, also gingerly. I'm gonna put in a light box so I can see what he looks like. Next one, I'm gonna make him look a little bit drunk since he's pretty tired and cold. His head is like that pretty much. Start down here. Sorry about that. Where was I? There we go. Then he stands up perfectly. He's looking straight ahead. And these are pretty much just doodles. When you're doing a storyboard, don't get really specific or very detailed. That's a mistake. Don't do that. Now he's still. Now I'm going to just make him flex, so he's going to get down. This is something pretty. Looking like he's constipated pretty much. He's going to push a little poop out of his butt. And that's pretty much how it looks, how it's gonna look like. Because I have TV Paint, if you have any programs like this, use it to your advantage. Because what I'm gonna be doing is I'm gonna separate these. I'm gonna make them longer. Take the frames, make it longer a little bit. I want it to be about 7 seconds. So let's go all the way to 7. And I want him. Sorry, there was hiccups now. I want him struggling to get up, so it's gonna take him a while to get up. And then from the time he gets up and actually gets his composure, it's going to be a little longer. There you go. Now let's play this. All right. In TV Paint, there's a camera that I usually use for my for everything, just so that I can know what everything looks like. We'll put the camera to look like this. I don't want it to be. Oops, sorry about that. I don't want the camera to be like too far like that. And I want it straight in the middle, right in the middle of the scene, so that it will look very dramatic. So let's play. Actually, play. Perfect. Now we got a scene there. So go to the next scene. I usually title this. I always make sure you title your scenes. So scene 1-5. There we go. And then I'll connect this with that one. And like before, I'm gonna take this, and he's gonna be roaring to the sky, and fire envelops him. The music starts playing, and okay. I want this to be separated, so that'll be another separate scene. I want it to be like a this camera goes out, and this you see the sky opening. So we're gonna take this. I'm gonna go to the action. I'll paste it. Apparently this. Okay, there we go. Oops, sorry about that. I wanted to be more relaxed. Roars to the sky. Oh gosh, that sound. I really hate that sound. Sorry about that. Let's put roar. I don't know how I'm gonna get a roaring. Maybe I will have to roar to make that sound effect to come in, but there you go. And I'm pretty much gonna continue doing this until the end. As you can see, it was pretty easy to get that one scene going. It wasn't that bad. But that's pretty much how you start. The next part of this kind of like from scratch, I'm going to be talking about what you do after you do an animation. I mean, a storyboard animation. Animation storyboard. Storyboard. Yes. Thanks for watching, everyone. And I'll see you next time. Toodles.